In the early hours of June 6, 1944, the dark waters of the English Channel were filled with thousands of ships. More than 150,000 Allied soldiers were crossing the sea toward the coast of Nazi-occupied France. Their mission was simple in words, but terrifying in reality. They were about to launch the largest amphibious invasion in human history. This operation would become known as D-Day, the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe during World War II. But to understand why this moment mattered, we must go back several years. By 1944, much of Europe was under the control of Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany. France had fallen in 1940. The powerful German military had built a massive defensive system along the western coast of Europe called the Atlantic Wall. Thousands of bunkers, artillery positions, landmines, and machine gun nests stretched across the coast. Hitler believed this wall would stop any Allied invasion. But the Allied powers, led by Dwight D. Eisenhower, the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe, had been planning a massive counterattack. The operation was called Operation Overlord. Its goal was to invade German-occupied France and open a Western front against Nazi Germany. The chosen landing location was the beaches of Normandy. 5 beaches were selected for the invasion. They were codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. Each beach would be attacked by different Allied forces from the United States, Britain, and Canada. Before the invasion even began, thousands of paratroopers were dropped behind enemy lines during the night. Their mission was to destroy bridges, capture key roads, and confuse German defenses. Meanwhile, a massive fleet of more than 5,000 ships approached the French coast. At dawn, Allied warships began bombarding German defenses along the shoreline. Moments later, landing craft carrying soldiers raced toward the beaches. For many troops, especially those landing at Omaha Beach, the situation quickly became chaos. German machine guns fired relentlessly from fortified bunkers. Soldiers jumping from landing boats were met with explosions, gunfire, and deadly obstacles placed in the water.
Many soldiers were killed before they even reached the sand. Despite the intense resistance, Allied forces kept pushing forward. Small groups of soldiers fought their way up cliffs and through German defenses. On the beaches controlled by British and Canadian forces, progress was faster, though still costly. Air support from Allied aircraft also played a crucial role, attacking German positions and disrupting reinforcements. One of the most important factors in the success of the invasion was deception. Before D-Day, the Allies launched a massive misinformation campaign called Operation Fortitude. Fake tanks, fake radio signals, and false intelligence convinced Germany that the invasion would occur at another location, Pas de Calais. Because of this deception, many German divisions remained far away from Normandy during the invasion. By the end of June 6th, the Allies had secured a fragile foothold in France. Although thousands had died, the invasion was successful. Over the following weeks, millions of Allied troops and vehicles would pour into Normandy. The German army struggled to push them back. Eventually, the Allied forces broke out of Normandy and began pushing deeper into France. Just 2 months later, the city of Paris was liberated from Nazi control. The success of D-Day marked a turning point in World War II. It opened a powerful Western front against Nazi Germany. While the Soviet Union was pushing from the east, Allied armies advanced from the west. Germany was now trapped between 2 massive forces. Less than a year later, in May 1945, Nazi Germany surrendered. Today, historians consider the Normandy invasion one of the most important military operations ever conducted. It demonstrated the power of planning, coordination, and international cooperation. But above all, it was a moment of incredible bravery. Thousands of soldiers risked their lives on those beaches. Their actions helped bring an end to one of the darkest chapters in human history. And on the shores of Normandy, the course of World War II changed forever.